how to nurture this new age of employee.
So it is a situation where you can today manage 10,000 machines at one time, no problems. Managing 10 people at the same time is a challenge because every human being has his own capabilities, capacities and ego, and they need to be managed. First and foremost, they have to be identified and then they need to be managed.
That every time you need not search a person when somebody is quitting a job. So what do you suggest about this idea?
The business grows on a concept called customer acquisition cost. Everybody is aware about customer acquisition cost. A lot of people are not aware that there is also a staff recruitment cost. If your attrition is high, then your staff recruitment cost is so high that even if your customer acquisition cost is low,
Correct.
it will eat up the profit.
Some issues start because of, they feel a little bit of ownership, or they don't follow the standard operating process, So it is very, very tricky to handle relatives, when they are into business, or handle family members into business. So that is a very challenging situation. How do we handle these situations?
It is definitely a challenge. In a small percentage, the people from the family are super productive, more productive than the founder of the family. In minimum cases.
That's the pro.
That is the pro.
So in business, there are multiple M's that are very important. Money, material, machine, manpower. So manpower is the most important part these days because the growth of business is so fast. We can get machines easily, we can get markets also easily, we can get money also, very easily. But getting the right manpower is the most difficult situation right now because we have a lot of population, but we have less trained manpower. And people are getting good businesses, people are getting good opportunities, they have good products, they have good services. But to deliver those services, they need good employees, and that is becoming a big challenge. So let's discuss on that topic, that how to nurture this new age of employees.
So it is a situation where you can today manage 10,000 machines at one time, no problems. But managing 10 people at the same time is a challenge because every human being has his own capabilities, capacities and ego, and they need to be managed. First and foremost, they have to be identified and then they need to be managed. I would also like to speak about one more M, and that is motivation.
Yeah.
So as an entrepreneur, you have to be the highest motivated person of the team, because if you're the captain of the team and if you're not well motivated, you can't motivate your other people. People initially join you for the salary comfort because every time you get an employee, most of the times it is a better pay than what he was earning in the previous job. So the first motivation for him to join you is the money part. After that, he needs to get a lot of recognition and respect. So that is his second requirement. And the most important requirement is growth. He needs to have a belief that life spent with you or life invested with you, apart from money, respect, satisfaction and bonuses, he needs to get growth in knowledge, growth in experience and also revenue growth.
Correct.
So he looks for all these kind of elements in his life, and he needs to be motivated by those elements also. As an entrepreneur, you need to be motivated enough to motivate your teams for all these requirements that you need to satisfy, because that is your job role. Whenever we hire somebody, we create a job description. We forget that as entrepreneurs, we also need to have a job description to ourselves.
Correct.
Every entrepreneur has to be a super successful HR manager. His success can be happening only if he has recruited the right team and kept them well motivated. And you can keep them well motivated only if you understand their personalities, their needs, their wants, and in what proportion and portion they should be satisfied. So as an entrepreneur, it is your responsibility to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Secondly, the quality of your manpower will define the level of your growth in terms of revenue generation and in terms of profit after tax. That is the net profit that you are earning. So it is very critically important. So as an entrepreneur, you need to do a couple of activities. You need to recruit right. Once they are recruited, you need to train them right. Once they are trained, you need to retain them well. Once they are retained, you also need to retrain them.
Correct.
So you need to recruit, you need to train, you need to retain, and you need to retrain them. If you follow these elements well, your organization will be a very profitable one. And every profitable organization has the same elements that I spoke about in the right proportion.
Correct.
And that has happened because of the founder, the guy who started the journey. Jaisa Raja Vaisi Praja. Similarly, if you are the entrepreneur, you are the king of your business. The team which is working with you need to be in tandem with your thoughts and your processes. Once that happens, each one in the team will not only look like you, but will also talk like you and behave like you, and that will ultimately lead you to better success in business. So these are elements I think which every entrepreneur should have at the top of their mind and in their and pre-programmed in the subconscious mind.
Correct. Also, the world is changing, and the opportunities are also increasing. So earlier we used to get a manpower and we used to expect him to stay with 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, but those days are gone now. Every 3 year and 5 year we now see a shift, because they get a better role and better increment also. So finding people is become a 24/7, 12 months kind of a job. So like you have a sales team, we should also have a recruitment agency who will recruit people 24/7, and you should have a bench of people who are available continuously. So this 3 year to 4 year or 5 year, target of every employee, that should be taken into consideration while we are running a company, so that every time you need not search a person when somebody is quitting a job. So what do you suggest about this idea?
The business grows on a concept called customer acquisition costs. Everybody is aware about customer acquisition cost. A lot of people are not aware that there is also a staff recruitment cost. If your attrition is high, then your staff recruitment cost is so high that even if your customer acquisition cost is low,
Correct.
it will eat up the profits.
Correct.
So your attrition should be controlled and your staff recruitment cost needs to be rationalized. What also happens is, today every company or every organization has a HR team in place, a recruitment team in place. Apart from that, people also have recruitment agencies on board because the replacements need to happen fast.
Correct.
Now, there are situations where people leave you and go, but there are also situations where you have to remove some people and bring the right people in the team. Every person has a responsibility of performance and productivity. And if that is not happening, if the entrepreneur is not productive, the market replaces him.
Correct.
By making sure that he makes so much losses that he falls down.
Correct.
Similarly, if an employee is not profitable to you, he needs to get replaced. Your first attempt has to train him. And after training him also, if he is not improving in his performance, he needs to get replaced. It is as simple. It also applies to the vendors. If they don't perform as per your expectation, they need to be replaced. So replacement is a natural process, but you need to have it in the minimalistic side. So your shortlisting or your recruitment process itself should be so stringent that your attrition should be the lowest. That will add to the profitability of your company. So these are elements that you have to be calculating well and implementing well. And it is a big problem. It is a joke when you claim that in a densely populated country like India with 140 crore population, it is funny when you say that you are not getting people. It is absolutely funny. In every developed country, the recruitment is not a very crazy activity as it is in a developing country, because over there, everybody is well placed and the matching of the profiles is so intense and so perfect that attrition in the developed countries is the lowest. It is very high in the developing countries and it is wild in the underdeveloped countries. It is wild because in developing and underdeveloped countries, it is only firefighting. Whereas in the developed countries, it is a well-planned structure. There is a standard operating process on how to recruit people, how to train them, how to retain them, and how to keep retraining them. It's a standard operating procedure in the developed countries in all the organizations. India is moving from being a developing country to becoming a developed country. In the next couple of years, we will be a developed country. So I'm sure the problem of attrition will get resolved to a great extent. But today, we have to tackle this in a very different way. Even in our own country, there are a lot of successful entrepreneurs, but they are successful because they have the right and the best team along with them. And here, the entrepreneur is playing the role of an HR manager very effectively.
So also, in India, we are talking about SMEs or we are talking about small business owners. Initially, when I start a business, I take my family members or I take my relatives, as a part of my team. But later then, some issues start because of, they feel a little bit of ownership, or they don't follow the standard operating process, so it is very, very tricky to handle relatives, when they are into business, or handle family members into business. So that is a very challenging situation. How do we handle these situations?
It is definitely a challenge. In a small percentage, the people from the family are super productive, more productive than the founder of the family. Many in minimum cases.
That's the pro.
That is the pro. The negative is many a times the family members become a burden because they come with the legacy. They come because they are not recruited on merit. They come because they are available. And they come because they know they have a right to participate in that business.
Correct.
So their productivity becomes a question mark. And when a non-productive person instructs a productive person, there is a conflict. And then that conflict is a mechanism of creating loss for the enterprise. So you really need to be, as an entrepreneur, you really need to be very cautious about that. It might be your wife, it might be your children, it might be your brothers and sisters, or it might be your first cousins and chachas and kakas and mamas, whatever.
Right.
But if they don't blend into the culture and the requirement of the organization, it is dangerous to have them around. If you are an entrepreneur and if you have family members, then it is your responsibility to make sure that they are productive enough, that they are respected in the organization, not because of who they are, but because of how capable they are every single day. And how competent they are every single day. Otherwise, you have to keep managing the differences between the teams and the people from the family. So, a lot of people avoid having family members on board, and a lot of people like having family members on board. Loyalty is there, dependency is there, that's good enough. But making them productive is your core responsibility. You can spend more on getting them trained, that's not a problem. But you need to make sure that everybody is competent, capable, and with the same culture of the overall organization. The authority should be out of capability, not out of who he or she is related to.
Correct. So in many organizations, we have old manpower. That means old as in people who are from the start of the business, and they have a lot of contribution in the growth of the business. But as the business changes, the role of every entrepreneur or every employee also changes. Like we always say, what got you here will not take you there. So this old employees, who are there with you from the beginning, they start resisting the new way of doing business. Maybe a new technology or a SOP that they start resisting, and the entrepreneur becomes very emotional towards them, that these are the people who supported me when I started, and then he does not know what to do with him. So many times emotionally they are stuck that what should I do with these people?
It is a very dangerous situation because lots of time your most productive person after sometimes becomes redundant. The customer changes you after you are redundant in offering product and services to him.
Correct.
The vendor changes you, or you change the vendor after the vendor is redundant to you and you get a better vendor. Similarly, you also have to change a few people who would have been a reason of success for you at one point of time. But your responsibility is much larger. Sometimes the person who has been responsible for your success, that person himself becomes a hurdle in your growth.
Correct.
And at that time, you really need to cut him out of the system so that you can support the other people of the organization. Because there are more than that one person in the organization about whom you are responsible for their families, for their fees, for their food, for their shelter. So it is a larger responsibility to be taken care of. Always remember one thing. What does the doctor do when some part of your body needs to be amputated? He amputes it. Simple.
To save the rest of the body.
To save the rest of the body. The same thing has to be done in business. It is inevitable. It is inevitable. And it can happen with your own family member who has become redundant in the business and you have to chuck him out. So that has to be done. It is an inevitable part of the process of doing business. So you as an entrepreneur, you will have to take that call. In the case of Apple, they replaced the founder of the organization. And Steve Jobs was chucked out of the organization in spite of he being the founder. It is a different story. He came back and took it to bigger glory and better glory. But that is a lesson to the world that nobody is irreplaceable. You have to be in tune with times. If you have an option which is better than you, you have to make way for that better option. And you'll get compensated for that. Nothing is free. You get compensated for that. But it has to happen in the interest of the business sustenance and growth for both. So as an entrepreneur, you are going to be, your outcome is going to be the culmination of the good decisions that you took. Everybody is used to taking sweet decisions, but the business which has really grown outstandingly has taken a lot of bitter decisions.
Correct.
We change locations, we change businesses, we change products, we change designs, we change strategies. So why can't we change a few more people who are not profitable to the organization? If they are your enemies for the growth of the business, if new people come in and if they cannot take the entry of the new people just because that person starts thinking that the new people are more valued than me and he starts damaging the organization, he can't be a part of the organization. Each one of you who's watching this show is facing this problem. I exactly know that.
Yes.
Each one of you watching this show is facing that problem, and the solution is in a bitter decision. They have to get relocated and replaced. Period. There is no other solution to that. There are some sicknesses which need to be cured perpetually in one go. That is, you have to operate it. And that is how you should do it in business also.
Correct. So I say, every entrepreneur runs a hidden NGO in the organization.
Yes.
So why is this person here? Arey, he's my,
Old employee.
Old employee. Why is he here? No, he's very needy. He needs a job. So he's doing social work in the organization, and the ROI of every employee is not really, taken care of, not focused.
Actually, nobody is indispensable.
Yeah.
Not even the organization. If one organization closes, some other organization takes his place.
Correct.
If one employee is removed, once upon a time का productive employee is not productive today, उसको अगर निकाल देते हैं, तो somebody else will take its place.
Absolutely.
So it is a myth. Lot of employees think that if I don't work for the organization will collapse. That's a myth. Never has an organization collapsed because of an exit of an employee. Never.
Absolutely.
In any organization.
Yeah.
The organization outlives every employee. If the whole organization is profitable, and that depends on the entrepreneur. The business will succeed or fail on the quality of the entrepreneur operating that business. Otherwise, no employee can be the reason for the failure of a business just because he has left the business. So it's a myth. So as an entrepreneur, you really need to be having the capability to take better decisions and bitter decisions whenever required.
Better and bitter.
Better and bitter decisions whenever required.
Correct.
Do not have the fear of loss. Just get the person replaced. It's that's the only way to go ahead. It is like the cricket team, right? 30-40% of the cricket team keeps changing all the time. The balance number of people are the pillars of the organization, and you need to have the right fit in. Like you cannot replace a cricket team you cannot replace a cricket player with a football player. Correct. It has to be a better cricket player. Correct. So similarly, in whatever business that you are, if you have to replace, captains get replaced.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Other than the team, owner of the team, like the country cannot get replaced. So you are the country for your business. So you cannot get replaced. But other than that, everybody gets replaced. Yeah. Captains get replaced so many times and so frequently. The best bowler gets replaced. The best batsman gets replaced.
Absolutely.
A batsman who has clicked centuries in 5 games, if he goes on no scoring in the next 3 games, he'll be replaced. True. Nobody is going to remember the history forever.
True.
It is temporary, momentary motivation. That's it. After that, you need to have a person who is a performer and who's productive. And this is the grim reality of life.
Great. So there is a very interesting study which says about the growth of employees. The first generation in India, the employees were only for bread and butter. So for them, job was only bread and butter. Second generation was they wanted to build some assets. Like I want to have a house and a car and things like that. The third generation of employees was into job satisfaction or passion and things like that. And now the fourth generation is looking for purpose. So they are asking a question to the employer that when I'm working for this organization, what impact are we creating, in the society? So every organization, rather than giving product and services, should also have a mission towards, serving the world. So how can we create a mission like this, for our...
So every mission is a goal post and people play towards hitting that goal. Like in the football, if there is no goal post, you don't know where to kick the ball.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So in business, if you're a mission-oriented organization, then the entire team is working towards achieving that mission. Like for example, if you're an event management company and if there is a large conference coming up, like the one that you people organize for Saturday Club Udyog Bhog,
Yeah.
where hundreds of entrepreneurs came together. So that event management team was working towards the mission of making that event happen. So all energy is in one direction. It creates better productivity if there is a mission in place. Today's generation wants social causes.
Yes.
Causes which are positive to the society, which is doing good to the people.
Correct.
They get motivated in doing that. Money is a motivation, how you are treated is a motivation, the growth that you're getting is a motivation. But what you are achieving as an overall organization, that is the highest level of motivation. Forget about employees. Even in the world, the funding that happens today, there are impact funds. Now, the impact funds are funds which are available only for business models which are creating an impact in the society. So it has gone so professional and so focused and dedicated. So every business that you are doing, if you can prove to the world that you are adding value to the society, your customer acquisition cost will drop down dramatically. Your attrition rate will almost become negligible.
Correct.
So all of these are important factors. Your mission needs to be to serve. Your mission should not be only profit making. Profit should be a byproduct of your efforts. It cannot be a concentrated effort only to achieve profits. If your team starts believing in the vision that you have, which is a mission solving some problem in the society, that team will never leave you and go. And the customer will also never leave that product or services. So it is a brilliant way of living where at the end of the day, you also will be satisfied with yourself. It's as an entrepreneur, you also do self-communication, right?
Yes.
So you will feel proud of what you are achieving and what you are doing. So mission-oriented businesses are doing excellent business. Today, everybody wants to do something which can add value to the customer's life. If I'm doing Sante Spa Cuisine, I'm so proud and so confident that the food that we are serving to our consumers is adding quality life, to their bodies. It is not uncomfortable to them and it is healthy for their systems. It is healthy for their health. Everybody today is trying to add value in some form or the other. If I'm an automobile manufacturer, safety is the first feature that I sell.
Correct.
That even in case of a mishap, my car is going to protect your life and your family.
Correct.
That is what sells first. I give so many airbags. I do this, I do that. This is the way, this is that safety is implemented and stuff like that. And people buy that safety feature. Car comes along with that safety feature. So you have to give something which can protect the customer, enhance the life of the customer, enhance the value for that customer, does something which is better than what that customer is already experiencing. And then there is a big market for you. So all of this is critically important. And if you are doing this, your manpower will feel proud of being associated with you and they will be with you for a long time to come.
Correct. So we're talking about manpower, and there is a very interesting story which says, how do we catch butterflies? So if you go behind butterflies, you will not be able to catch. The best way to catch a butterfly is to build a garden. So if your organization becomes a garden, then butterflies will automatically come and sit there. So many times business owners say that I want good people, but very few times the organization says that we want to become such an organization that people will come searching for us. So that change, like you said, in a cricket team, a football player will not fit. So even if you get a good player, will he fit in our organization? Will he feel happy when he comes to the organization? That is the most important question. So to build a good organization which will attract talent, I think that is also a very important thing.
Absolutely agreed. The prime role of the entrepreneur, I love to keep repeating it, that the entrepreneur is the HR manager of the business.
Yeah.
The prime role of the entrepreneur is to create a all-inclusive culture where people will love to get absorbed, because the working environment should be such that more number of people will want to come into that organization. So nobody is leaving the organization. Everybody wants to join that organization.
Right.
So that is very important. That is critically important. Like if you have an atmosphere where people feel happy, then a lot of more people will want to join that organization and attrition will almost be negligible.
Correct.
So it is the entrepreneur's responsibility to make that happen. So there are a lot of entrepreneurs who not only give responsibility to the teams, but they also give authority. Authority is also a kind of a satisfying aspect to the employee. He feels, oh, the organization trusts my capability.
Yes.
They trust my judgment, and I'm an important part of the organization.
Yes.
This kind of feeling also adds a lot of value to the feeling the employee has towards the organization. So I think these are all elements which need to be implemented. And as an entrepreneur, it is your responsibility to make sure that all these conversations that we are doing is actually happening in real time.
Yeah.
I'm sure most of you are doing this. But if it needs to be fine-tuned further, it needs to be fine-tuned.
Correct. So if you have any questions on this, you can mention them in the comments, and we'll both try to answer those queries. If you like this content, please like, share and subscribe. And thank you very much for this time, sir.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine. And as entrepreneurs, if you have built a unique kind of a culture in your working organization, please share it with us in the comments below. Probably the readers would love to learn new nuances of how to build a better culture or a better working atmosphere in their organizations. And for us also, it will be an enlightenment, and we'll pick it up in our next episodes also. Thank you so much. I work with and for Konark Cancer Foundation. It's a foundation which takes care of cancer patients. If you know anyone suffering with cancer, then we at Konark Cancer Foundation can connect the person with the right resources and facilities to ensure that the right time, right treatment reaches the patient. Whether it is connecting the resources or providing resources to the cancer patient, we do it all. It also includes support for accommodation in the city of Mumbai. We are associated and connected and networked with the right resources, the right doctors and the right hospitals. We can bring all of this on a table to you so that it is convenience for you. Whether it is guidance, whether it is medical support, or whether it is operating procedures, our team facilitates every activity required for the patient and the support required for the family. We also connect you to the right NGOs and donors to ensure that you also get financial support and aid to whatever extent possible to ensure that the treatment happens and the life is saved. If you know of anyone who is suffering with cancer, please connect with us. The details are mentioned in the content below. Konark Cancer Foundation is an NGO. It's a not-for-profit organization, and we have lots of volunteers which support this good deed. So get in touch with us and help us to save lives. You too can be a part of this movement. Konark Cancer Foundation. Thank you so much.